Hello guys, so it's been a little while since I made a video, probably a good 4 or 5 days, I think. I don't know, I just thought I'd turn on the camera and talk for a little bit about some stuff. I don't know. Well, today, actually not today, Tuesday, I did an assessment on functionalism, which is what I made a video about a few days ago, like a week ago even, trying to explain the theory itself, and I didn't really know too much. And then I put a lot of time in revising, and so I went to see my teacher today, and she told me I got an A on it. And that's the first A I've ever got in my life, excluding GCSE art. But like my first academic A, so I guess it shows if you put the work in something, you can do it. Even though I don't really want to go into the system, it's good to have something to fall back onto in case my lifestyle choices don't work in the future. Yeah, so that happened. I don't know, I've been feeling pretty happy recently. Pretty neutral, which is good. No super high points, no super low points. In the last few days. I don't know, I'm excluding last week and the weekend because they were like, I don't know what happened. My brain was just a little bit mushed up. But that was something I had to go through, and I actually made a video explaining that the other day, so just check for the videos before this one and have a look if you want. Yeah. It's so strange how we're always going through something in our lives. Like whether it be good or bad or not really feel like anything at all. There's always something happening. There's always something that's gonna affect you in some way. And I feel like it's a good way to live by trying not to let it affect you in a negative way. And even in a super positive way. Like don't let things like external events sort of govern your emotions. You should just let yourself do that. Because if you're relying on something external to you to make you happy, then when that thing doesn't go right, you're going to feel sad. And that's when the thing is governing your emotions. So, yeah, you've got to try and... Well, you don't have to do anything. It's just advised to try and make yourself happy and try and find happiness within yourself. And not within things outside of yourself. I was just looking at the moon out my window. What day is it? It's Tuesday, is it? I don't know. It's Wednesday. I've actually... I don't know. I don't really have anything to talk about. But that's like so weird. Like, cause we always have to have something to talk about? But then again, isn't that the point of a YouTube video, to turn on the camera to make a point or make a statement or entertain people? But when you're not doing that, are you fulfilling the purpose? But then again, YouTube doesn't have a specific function. Like, you can put whatever you want on YouTube. Like, I could sit here in front of a camera, just stare at it the whole time and not say anything. And I wonder what would happen. I wonder if anyone would watch it. Just like no title and nothing on the video. I don't know. I might do that one day. Maybe. But that seems a bit pointless. But then again, isn't everything we do a little bit pointless? Unless we have a point. But even that point is probably subjective to us because we think it's an important point to make. But is it really an important point to make? Or do we just perceive it to be that way? And I feel like even questioning the points we make being pointless is a pointless thing. But then again, pointlessness is subjective, and then again, going down the pointless route again. But nothing can really be pointless, can it? And nothing can really have a point, unless you give it one. Like, things external to the human experience, they don't have points. They just happen. Well, debatably, they just happen. Like, the universe may not have a point, it just happened. And then when the humans come along, we give it a point. So the human experience gives things points. That's what I'm trying to say. That it's like this bottle is a really bad example, actually, because the bottle has a point because it was made for a purpose. The purpose was for it to hold water, so we can drink it. So that was kind of a bad example. Let's say a tree. A tree wasn't brought here to give us oxygen. A tree simply gives out oxygen. It spews out oxygen and takes in the carbon dioxide. And that somehow, that helps us live, because we've evolved alongside the tree. And we use the tree's function to aid our function. But the tree hasn't evolved to suit us, we've evolved to suit the tree. That's weird. Because a tree doesn't have a thinking mind, does it? Or does it? I don't know. But let's say that a tree doesn't have a thinking mind. A tree's not going to think, oh, I better grow in this location, or I better give out this much oxygen, because there's this amount of people in this area. A tree doesn't think like that. A tree just takes in what it needs and spews out what it doesn't need. A tree is just a tree. A tree does whatever the fuck it wants. And then humans just, oh no. Like, the only reason we see trees as super important, well, I say we, I mean like most humans, is because they give us oxygen. And most people don't even acknowledge the fact that they do that. Giving them no importance whatsoever, paying them no respect. So, just taking them for granted. But if there was no trees, there's no you. But then again, if there was no trees in the first place, let's say we're going back through time. If there was no trees, there could still be you, but you'd just be in a different form. Maybe you wouldn't need oxygen to live. Maybe you'd need something else which you could actually obtain from the environment and utilise to be helpful to our evolution. But maybe if that happened, we wouldn't be the most evolved species. Maybe a fish would be the most evolved species, or a kangaroo. I completely forgot what a kangaroo was then. But I remember now. It's one of the things that hops around and puts his baby in his pouch. And this video is so pointless, but it has a point. I'm just talking, and there's nothing wrong with that, so there's my point. Because I feel like talking to the camera, so I'm going to do it, and whether you like the topics or not, and the incoherent structure of this video, then that's not my problem, because I'm having fun making it. Because there doesn't have to be a point, okay? There doesn't have to be a point. I don't know. The moon's really pretty. It's really big. Just thought you should all know that. And I don't think I'm going to turn on the camera, because I'll let you picture your own moon, or you can look out the window and see it for yourself. I think sometimes, especially, I don't know, like when you take a photo of something or a video, it sort of takes away from the magic of the experience. I say that while I was making a video. But I mean, like, let's say you've got a beautiful sunrise, and you want to go take a photo of it. It's nothing compared to what you actually see with your eyes and what you actually experience in that moment. I can't remember the word for that, but there is a word. It's like knowable or something. Knowable. Or nalectic. Nelection. It's something along them lines, but it pretty much means that it's like that moment of awe you get when you're in a beautiful environment and you go, and you could never describe it with words. Words completely wouldn't do the situation any justice whatsoever, but you know what you felt was like magical or spiritual, and that's the sort of thing I'm talking about with the moon. Like, I can describe it to you as much as I want, I could show you a video of it, but this shitty camera would not do any justice. Maybe if you've got a super HD camera which can pick it up without getting the massive white smear around the edge, or the things you get on these laptop webcams, then maybe you could capture the true essence of the moon. But still, it's not the same as actually seeing it pass through the sky slowly at night, surrounded by all the stars, and in the present moment, it's not the same thing. In my opinion anyway, I'd much rather see the moon in person than see a photo of the moon. I don't know. I don't know whether to keep talking or just end off the video, because I've been talking a little bit for like 12 minutes almost, and I don't know. I don't really have a set topic, but as I've said, that's okay, because nothing in life really has a point, unless you're a water bottle and your point is to feed people water. Okay, anyway, I think I'm gonna end it off there. Just leave a like if you want to, comment also if you want to. No forcing people to do anything around here. Yeah, subscribe if you're new and join the journey, I guess. Bye. The video